Now we're good? All right, what's going on, everybody? This episode is going to be a little bit differently today. We're going to be talking, but we're also going to be playing some Liar's Dice. And we have here Brendon Long. He came all the way from Florida just to do this here today. And as we were speaking this morning, I found out that he was actually a big Liar's Dice fanatic.
Big fan. I flew all the way here to do Liar's Dice, not to talk to you.
Yeah, and we're only going to play out of 2 dice, and we're going to show you, I call it dices because it's funny, but we're going to show you our dice, and then we're going to play out of 2 dice game, and yeah, winner takes $100 home. Let's go, baby. All right, you ready to roll?
Yep.
Okay, who starts? I start because
Okay,
it's my podcast.
Okay.
All right, you rolled?
I rolled, yeah.
Okay, 2 2s.
That's just a bold start.
Show the camera so they can see.
I'm showing this one.
Oh, it's not in frame.
I know, it has to be the big one.
I mean, the first question I need to know is just like how often you lie. Like, do you see like a liar to me?
Dude, I play GTO.
You play GTO?
GTO, baby.
Okay, that's good to know.
Intense.
So, I forgot I haven't played in a while. So the wild are
this
wild.
guy.
The wild are wild for me as well, right?
The wild is wild for everybody. The
Wild for
the
everybody.
last number that was said is whatever. That's what it is for everybody.
Okay.
Augie's not gonna like this.
2 4s then.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I was straight up lying. You have a wild? I should have
No,
just said a
I don't
number.
have
Okay.
anything.
I was hoping you had a number and that was good.
All right, I got the first one. So now we go back. I have 2 dice,
my
and he has
God.
1 left.
I just have to call bullshit at the start.
gonna-
I mean,
he's-
it makes no sense. It's not even close to GTO. It makes no sense at all.
All right, you rolled.
I already got rid of mine. Oh, should we show it to the camera first? Wait, I'm rolling. Okay.
Okay.
Should I go like that? I haven't even looked.
1 4. Oh shit! Wait, we have to redo that.
Why?
Because my phone fell in my hand and like I touched it, so it rolled.
Oh, okay. So
All
we
right,
re-roll?
okay, you ready? Re-roll.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you have to go now because I said it first though.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
1 4.
Bullshit. I got 2 6s, baby. That's
I'm
easy
fucked.
game.
I'm so boned.
Easy game. Easy game. Let's go,
You
Augie.
should have just said 1 6. That was not GTO either. You say 1 6, and then I lose pretty much.
Dude, I just lie all the time. All right, winners win. Here we are with Brendon Long from the
My
Chicago
God.
Slice.
It's your own podcast. You're showing the things on the TV. I don't expect you to lie right off the bat. Now
Dude,
your viewers don't even trust you at all.
I
They
know,
don't trust
dude.
you
What
at
is
all.
going on? You just got to play the game, dude. But welcome to the podcast. Super happy to have you here. For the people that don't know, you're a gold medal winner, PPA. Have you won an APP or just the actual like hard tour?
I won APP as well.
Okay, nice. But yeah, dude, just talk to me a little about yourself. Give me some fun facts, whatever you have in mind.
Yeah, I won APP and PPA last year. I won with Bobby in the APP mixed.
Was that in Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah.
in Daytona. I used to play poker professionally. Obviously, I'm terrible at gambling if I just got smoked by you and Liar's Dice right off the bat. So like, that's probably why I don't do it anymore.
Yeah, that makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense to me.
Should have looked at your face.
Mm-hmm. You made a big mistake.
Yeah.
Rusty.
Yeah. That's why I don't do it anymore, obviously. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I just like really playing pickleball, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that's the main reason that I do it.
Mm-hmm.
I like to say, I mean, recently I've been realizing that I feel like I'm like one of the luckiest people ever. Like, got like a really hot, really cool girlfriend. I play pickleball for a living and slap like a wiffle ball around.
Yeah.
And I invested in NVIDIA in like 2009.
Yeah.
So like I'm just like the luckiest person ever.
Dude, let's go. What was your return like for NVIDIA?
A lot. It just goes up every day.
Dude, that's amazing. Oh, there's a bug over there. Think you gotta kill that thing. No, don't kill it.
I brought that with me from Florida.
No, dude, that's awesome. So obviously, like every podcast, we're gonna have to talk a little bit your past. So what were you doing before pickleball? Playing poker, but how long? And did you do anything else outside of poker?
Yeah, I was playing poker for a while.
Didn't go too well, I suppose.
No, it was fine. I never had a losing year.
Okay.
This is maybe my first losing year in that Liar's Dice. No, I traveled around. I used to go to Vegas every year for a month for the World Series. I used to come out to California. I would go to the Commerce here all the time in California. That was my favorite, actually, because when you played in the high stakes room, they would give you, so like a lot of places they give you free drinks,
Yeah.
but in the Commerce they would give you free food. So
Ooh.
you could just get whatever unlimited free food you want whenever you played in the high stakes game. So
Yeah.
that was my reason to come out here.
Oh, there you go.
So I would come here. I used to play Ocean's 11.
Dude, I used to live by there.
Really?
Yeah.
I totally forgot that even existed till I drove down here.
Uh-huh.
And I drove by and I was like, wait a minute.
Dude, that's awesome.
I've been there a bunch of times.
Yeah, my brother used to actually, he was a security guard for Ocean's 11 for a little while.
Oh, really?
And apparently there's a lot of like sketch like shit going on in there.
There used to be a lot of sketch stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like you used to be able to like play with cash on the table, like you should, and like buy in with cash more here. And then they kind of changed the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And so the poker got worse after that.
Oh, dude, 100%. I remember he was telling me a story where some girl, like, just, I guess she got a good hand and got a lot of money off of it. And she was like, okay, I need to leave. And then he had to, like, actually walk her out to her car just to make sure that nobody goes and, like, robs her,
Yeah.
basically. That sounds pretty insane to me.
Well,
but-
that's definitely a thing. Like if you have a big win in an area you're not familiar with or like a kind of a sketchy area, you ask the security guard to walk you out.
Gotcha.
Because that's what people do is they'll wait for you in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Or they'll follow you in your car till you go wherever you're going or you stop.
Dude, were you one of those people?
To follow people around?
Yeah.
I was the one hoping people weren't following me around.
That's awesome. Yeah, so fast forward, right? So you're now playing pickleball. What year do you start playing pickleball? Are you kind of an OG?
Yeah, I've been playing for a long time.
Yeah.
The first time I played pickleball was like 15 years ago.
Wow.
In Naples, right? So obviously it was there a lot more.
Yeah.
So I've known Kyle for like
Kyle Yates.
for like 9 years now.
Nice.
So when I first started, I just played with my friends, and then like my brother and my friends and I went to local parks, and we're like, okay, let's like play with some people, and we just smoked everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then we tried another park, and we just beat everybody because everyone was so bad.
Right.
And eventually, someone was like, hey, you should go to Fort Myers. Like, there's some pretty decent people up there. So we went up to Fort Myers and went to the place where people played there, and it was Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Who was like #1 in the world at the time.
Right.
And obviously he smoked us.
Yeah, of course.
It was Kyle and this guy, Barry Waddell. And
Do I remember Barry Waddell,
Yeah.
actually?
so the two of them, and we just got absolutely smoked by them. We were like, okay, we actually suck.
Yeah.
And just the people we played against also sucked.
Mm-hmm.
But then
What
that's how
level
I
do you
met
think
Kyle.
you were back then?
Like to equivalent to today?
No, just like overall. Like if Kyle was a 5-0 at the time, which is, kind of what it used to be, like
Yeah.
what were you?
I was like still like a 4.0, 4.5 at the
Gotcha,
time.
gotcha.
Yeah.
They were still pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I played with him and I practiced more, so I would play with him all the time.
Yeah.
I just didn't play any tournaments outside of Florida.
Okay.
And then obviously I met Simone and
Yeah.
practiced with Simone a bunch. And then I knew Ben back when he was like 16 or something.
Oh, you go way back.
Yeah. Like I met him like when he had only played a few times
Mm-hmm.
because we had a Tuesday group that was like a good Tuesday group. So Kyle would like drive down from Fort Myers and
Yeah.
a bunch of the best people in the area at the time would come down to the park next to my house and like on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And someone brought Ben to the park
Okay.
to come play like back before he had like only played a few times.
When you saw, obviously, Ben's the GOAT, right? So
Yeah.
when you saw Ben kind of like play for the first, second time, like, do you think anything of it? Were you like, oh, this guy's going to be really good? Or were you at a point where like, I'm a 4-0, like, I don't care. I don't know how often I'm going to do this. And
Well, I beat him like the first like 15 times we played singles.
oh, there you go. Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
But every time he got closer.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, I don't even know if I told Ben this, but like, he came out and then they're like, this kid's going to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm like, who doesn't think their kid's going to be good, right? Who comes out and it's like, oh, my kid's going to suck, right? Everyone's like,
Fair.
my kid's going to be
Yeah.
the best in the world,
Yeah.
right? They were right this time, obviously.
Yeah. They definitely were
They were
for
right by a lot.
Yeah. For a long time, too.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things too. Like I remember when I started playing, and it wasn't even that long ago, considering you've been playing for so long. But I was 18. I'm 24 now, and even in 2018, like anywhere you go, like the average age is like 55 plus, sort of thing, right? In 2018,
Yeah.
and so like I didn't have a super intensive like tennis background or anything, but I was okay, especially like as a junior, like you do a top 20 SoCal, whatever. But obviously, like you're playing against all these people that are older and they play for fun and they really like it and they're trying to be competitive. So like anytime they see somebody young, like it doesn't matter if they have a good tennis background, if they have no tennis background or any sport, they're like, this guy's gonna be good.
guy's
This is gonna be
absolute
amazing.
freak athlete.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like jumping around in poaching. Like, what is going
Yeah,
on?
their hands are incredible. Like I think they got it. Like this
Yeah.
person's got it.
Yeah. Dude, do you see the point of Grayson Golden playing with Shelby Bates?
I did see that. Yeah.
Dude, that is crazy. Like, to even think that, people obviously like that's normal considering his age, his athleticism, and kind of like how people play tennis and stuff. But going back to like 2018 or 2013, whenever you started playing, like to see how everything has evolved so much, to me is just really cool to see. And then somebody like him that, the ball's like, basically like 3 years ago, if the ball got behind you at any point, the point was over.
Yeah.
That's just how the game was played, right? A year or two ago, if somebody hit an ATP, you're like, oh, too good, man. And then now it doesn't matter if it's an ATP or if people are just like, hitting it over your head or whatever, or past you can still go get it,
Yeah,
Actually,
I played him in men's.
yeah.
this
How
weekend.
was he?
I mean, he hit it really hard.
Yeah, he
it was,
does.
It was really annoying, especially with the wind. Like when the wind's
Yeah.
at his back and he's serving, like I feel like I hit my serve really hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not as hard as him, dude.
Not as hard as him,
69
exactly.
miles an hour?
Yeah, and it's annoying. Now I'm like, is this what it feels like when I hit it? Someone else, like, dude, chill.
Well, I remember playing you and is it Stefan or Stefan?
Hey, Stefan.
Stefan. Okay,
Yeah.
when Stefan in LA Open APP like a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah.
And obviously you have a big serve, but when you were able to spin the ball with your hand,
Yeah.
like it just got so
That was the
wild.
best. I love it.
So wild. And I remember because Stefan just serves pretty fucking hard too, right? And he's a big guy. And I remember like most of the points that we lost was basically like a huge serve and, followed by a drive or something, which at the time was the right way to play. It was just annoying. But, is the spin serve something that you wish never went away, or do you think it kind of would have ruined pickleball by now?
No, because I actually think it would have been fine. I don't think it's bad that it went away. I just think it's bad that it went away because people were whiners, right? Where all the people who were pushing so hard to get it to go away just never practiced against it ever.
Yeah.
All the people who practiced against me in town, Pablo and these people, they were really good at returning. They would go to other places and be like, or go to tournaments and be like, it's not a problem. Like
Yeah.
they're returning it fine. It's not an issue. But it's all the people who just refuse to practice against it
Yeah.
that are like, it's dumb when you get rid of it. I'm like, well, you haven't even practiced for 1 second against it
Yeah.
to even try and get better at it.
So what would you say about, like, let's say in my case, right? Like I can spin the ball with my hand. I mean, anybody can, let's be honest. But if I'm in San Diego and the best player is Callan and there's other people like, maybe that are not as skilled or talented, right? Like how am I supposed to like practice against it if Callan will never do it?
Can't you say that about everything? Like, you're like, oh, how can I practice against Grayson's drive when like I only practice with Callan, right? Or how can I practice against Callan's lob when I don't play against anyone who lobs?
Right.
To me, it's the same.
I think it's similar, but I think you can definitely recreate certain shots in practice. I don't know if you can recreate a spin serve.
You got to get them better at it too.
That's fair. Yeah, I remember I played J-Dub in singles in APP Next Gen, and obviously I was not gonna win or anything, but I was like, okay, I'll get some points off of him. And the amount of, and he wasn't even spin serving that hard, but just like the overall like bounce to the right or bounce to the left sort of thing, it was just messing with me so much, dude, especially in singles. But I mean, that said, like I do think when in men's, I don't think it was as much of an issue, but when you're serving like that with the spin serve and mixed doubles, like things get really wild.
Yeah, people got mad at me in that one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, and the way that it started too, I remember watching Morgan Evans play against Callan and Leia Jensen, I think it was, at SoCal, or maybe even La Habra or whatever that was. And he was like straight acing people.
Yeah.
Like actually acing.
Yeah, I would do that too. When people who had never practiced against it
Yeah.
before, because I also invented different ones that
Yeah.
would look the same, but it would actually spin the other way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would get aces sometimes.
Yeah. But I would just say that, like, I think it's fine if it's every now and then, but that server was like doing a lot. I don't know, like,
It was definitely bad at the time. And like I said, I don't think it's bad that it got taken away.
yeah.
But I think that if we had kept it, and at this point, people wouldn't be having as much trouble with it now as they were 2 years ago, because people would practice against it and it wouldn't be as big of a deal.
To some extent, I do agree, but the last thing I will say, though, considering how hot the paddles are getting and like how spinny like the paddles are, like people used to be able to do that with like a Franklin paddle, and
Yeah.
it was already bad,
But
right?
so this is actually what people don't understand is Morgan's was really good because his paddle was so smooth that your spin serve is actually trickier when you have a smooth paddle. When
Oh,
you have a
interesting.
really gritty paddle, you can't trick people because the grit will actually override the spin that you have on your spin. Okay? So if I spin it and it's going to kick to the left and I cut it to the right, with Morgan's paddle, that cut to the right literally added no spin to it, so it would kick the opposite direction of his swing. And that's what really mind freaks people, is that it's going the opposite direction that he swings.
Yeah.
But when you have a really gritty paddle, you spin it and then cut it, you're actually counteracting. It's not going to bounce as much.
What about when you're not counteracting? What about when
It'll kick more, right?
Right.
But it's not deceptive.
It's not, but there's still fences to the side.
Yes. That's why at some point when the paddle started getting grittier, I actually switched from trying to trick people to just spinning straight top and then hitting topspin. And you could hit it as hard as you possibly could, and it would never go out, and then it would take a huge kick forwards.
Yeah, 100%. So that's in the past now, right? So I'm glad we kind of got through that little wave of spin serving and stuff. So that was I don't know if that's like the right term, but I'm gonna call it cheat code. You know, like you had a cheat code if you had a really good serve. Like, what would you say the cheat code is nowadays?
I mean, I still get points off my serve.
Mm-hmm.
I just get a lot of short balls. I feel like I hit it really hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I
shout out to Gamma.
Yeah. If you hit it really hard and you paint it off the line, you're gonna get free points. You're gonna get bad returns. I feel like there are still coaches out there that are telling people, don't hit it hard. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
And I always tell people that I guarantee you that any person who tells you that has a bad serve.
Yeah.
There's no one out there that has a good serve that says, oh, it's not worth it. It's not good.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on the new rule of like, well, you guys don't have it, I don't think, but you know, like dropping it by your whatever.
I think that's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're kind of like getting rid of the part that, I mean, you're making rules. The problem was that the rules were never enforced, or that they were hard to enforce. Like adding more rules if you're never going to enforce it, because they've already like laxed up on how much they enforce that rule, right? As if you just make a rule and then you're not going to enforce it anyways, what's the point?
Are there any issues in the APP right now where people, maybe you, are like serving like maybe not illegal, but like really, really cutting it close?
Not really. I don't think so. I don't think it's that bad.
Like, who do you think has like the most like quote unquote illegal serve right now on tour, whether it's APP or PPA?
I don't know. I don't even really worry about it anymore.
Yeah. Do you think it's as big as a weapon as it's perceived? I think if you were Grayson, yeah, it might be.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, I think I missed one return in that match.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's worth it because sometimes people are just looking at like how many missed returns they are, but really it's kind of like a cumulative thing where you have you didn't miss a return, but you hit it really short, and then you're late, and then the drive is better, or you can hit your drop 4 feet behind the baseline, and it works. Sure. So I think it is a weapon, and I think it's worth it to do. I think the MLP rules are a little suspect, where you can like hit it below your shoulder.
Why? That's the rule?
Yeah, that's the rule now.
But like wrist down or something?
Wrist down, but below your shoulder.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I was hitting. I got a lot of free points in MLP because I was hitting it from high.
Yeah, of course. I mean, because you can still kind
of
up
here.
I mean, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think Stefan actually missed 3 returns in a row in our Dream Breaker against me.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, he still ended up +1 on me because he beat me pretty bad the next time because he was serving. But yeah, if you can go from up there and hit as hard as you can and paint it off the line, it's kind of, you're in trouble.
Yeah, 100%. So talking about MLP, what do you know you were gonna get drafted to the Chicago Slice, or was it kind of one of those things where you're like, oh, like I don't know if I'm gonna get drafted or what team or?
Yeah, I wasn't really sure. At the time I got drafted, I was actually hitting. I didn't know. I actually just got a phone call and it said 35 Capital, and I was like, I don't know what that is. And then I answered, and they're like, hey, congrats. And I was like, congrats for what?
Pre-loan qualifier?
Yeah. I was like, congrats for what? And they're like, oh, you don't know? And I'm like, no, like, what are we talking about? And they're like, oh, we just drafted you. Like, this is the Saslows and this is Ray J. Like, we just drafted you to
Dude, I
Slice.
love Ray J. He's the man.
Yeah, they're all great. And I'm like, oh, sick. It was great. I actually wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, that's cool. So in your words, I don't want to put you on the spot or whatever, right? So your team drafted Jack Monroe first, right? He was overall number 2, and Jack was just here. I love Jack. But if you were a team owner going into what that Challenger MLP draft looked like, would you not go for a female first? I know there's a lot of different interests that come into drafting, but like if you're talking about like, I'm building the best team possible, what does that look like to you?
I think girl is probably better most of the time,
Yeah.
but I think going guy is the biggest issue. If you go guy, girl, guy, that's okay as well.
Guy, girl, go. I did that last year and it was no good.
Maybe that wasn't the drafting.
Maybe it was the
Maybe
first
it wasn't.
pick.
Maybe it wasn't the girl. That's the problem.
Maybe it was the first guy.
Yeah.
No, I think that's right. I think going guy like that early into the draft, like it's not a great thing. Like I don't think it's bad if like how the Black Bears did it, even though I don't love it, because you're at least getting like 2 number 1 round picks, quote unquote sort of thing.
You just have to make sure that the guy you pick can play men's and mixed. I think that's a problem that people have done before, where you pick a guy and then they're a good men's player, and then you assume that, okay, if they're a good men's player, they can easily play Challenger mix.
Yeah.
But people are still really good.
Yeah.
Right? The girls are still good. You can't 1-on-2. So you think that it's a good men's player that can just play mixed.
Yeah.
But that's just not always the case. So if you go round one guy and they can do both, it's fine.
So how would you rate, like if you're looking at a player, whether it's, female or male, right? And it is a little bit differently, whether it's one or the other. But when you look at the person, you're like, okay, I'm going to pick this person first. Like how much of it is gender? How much of it is mixed? How much of it is singles, percentage-wise, for you?
Like, I think gender and mix is the same.
Okay.
Right.
But they're higher than singles then.
They're higher than singles, yeah, like 40, 20.
Okay.
Maybe like actually less, like 42, 16.
And some singles.
Yeah.
Well, the way that I view singles, and maybe you can, I don't think we're singles players ourselves, But that said, like the way that I view singles in a Dream Breaker, the most important thing is actually whether you're jumping in, serving, or returning.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can come in, like in your case with a big serve, like if you come in serving, it's 4-4, and now you're serving, you have really good chances of making a good serve. And this person has been sitting there for like 8-9 points or whatever it is. This guy's okay. Well, I don't know I don't know how he's gonna serve. Maybe we switch sides or the sides is different, and now I got to return the serve and get it in, which is like the hardest thing in singles, because the return, in my opinion, in singles is like the most important thing. Mm-hmm. You have to get it deep, and that's what Ben does so well in singles. Like he's so consistent and always getting a good return, right? Mm-hmm. But then after that, you can just kind of go off of like, I can hit a decent third, whether it's a drive or like a drip sort of thing. And then anything else kind of goes after. So to me, when you're playing 4 points and your goal is to get good at that, like you don't need amazing cardio. I mean, if you have it, it's better. But you don't need to be insanely good at singles. You just need a good, first 3 shots. That's how I view it.
Yeah, I mean, because the majority of the points are only the first 3 shots anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I really, really want whoever's in front of me in the Dream Breaker to win their last point.
Yeah, of course.
Just win that last point so I can serve, because the difference in my serving and returning win ratio is very high.
Yeah, 100%. Most people's are. So what's the beef between Chicago and Black Bears? I wasn't even there. You guys lost.
Yeah, we lost. We lost. That was not a good match for us. And that was their only good match.
Yeah, it kind of was.
Our team owners were just like, hey, we kind of want to start a beef with someone. And Jack and I were like, okay, sure. Mm-hmm. Who do you want? And they're like, the Black Bears. And we're like, okay, that may have been the worst team to pick, but sure. So they said, hey, just post something.
Yeah.
And, I spent some time brainstorming, and I feel like I came up with some good ideas, but I didn't want to actually do any trash talk that would make people mad.
Yeah.
So I did just a generic one, but Jack did some trash talking, and I think it did fire the Black Bears up.
Yeah, I definitely did. Group chat was popping.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I wasn't even there.
Yeah, I heard that it fired them up. I think it was kind of an unfortunate way it all worked out, because the Black Bears were 0-6 at that point, and they were kind of in that mode where it was just screw it.
Yeah.
And sometimes when people hit that screw it zone, where now they're just swinging away, you already lost. There's nothing to lose here.
Yeah.
People play better, and we were coming off of. So that was our first one. That was our first event. We had just come off 2 like really tough Dream Breaker losses.
Yeah.
So we were a little bit down as well, coming off of Dream Breaker losses into that.
Can't be any more down than an 06 though.
Yeah, but I feel like sometimes it's like a circle. Like they're so down, they dug all the way back around to like being able to play good again.
100%.
And they were around there, and then our trash talk had fired them up, and we just went down off of like 2 really tough losses.
Yeah.
So it was kind of just a tough break for us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was kind of funny to watch because I was actually at home just kind of watching everything. And then, I'm watching them like the first day, like, oh my God, we're losing. Like, well, not even we, because like MLP is so wild now. It's like they can drop me like basically anytime, any trade can happen.
Well,
so
well, I did the trash talk when I thought you were playing, right? I wouldn't have said that if I knew you were being subbed, right?
Yeah. Well, you guys would have had a better chance if I was there.
That's
for
what I'm
sure.
saying. Yeah, I thought it was a better chance for us, and then you got subbed out, and I'm like, I want to let me take it back.
Dude, number 1 pick got subbed out for a undrafted, and you guys still lost. That's how bad your team is.
Spencer killed it. What do you want me to do?
Dude, Spencer's the man. I'm actually playing Bristol with Spencer. I'm really looking forward to it. But where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like the way that MLP works for me, like let's say Las Vegas the Night Owls did really well, right? And they basically, I think they won 5, and 4 of them were Dream Breakers. Like to me, like everything that comes to MLP itself, and sometimes even just PP or APP too, is like it's so based on just the day of, because that Dream Breaker any other day you could just lose. So like, do you think in MLP, like talking about Challenger right now, there's like a clear favorite and like a clear like bottom team or bottom 3 teams, or do you think it's just all over the place and anything could happen at any given time?
Our first match was against the Night Owls, which are like the number 1 and undefeated team, right? And we lost to them in a Dream Breaker. I actually had a match point in the Dream Breaker on my serve, and I hit a bad third against Scarpa. And we also had a match point in our mixed match to go 3-1.
Against
Jack
Vegas?
and Kelsey. So Jack and Kelsey also had against our first match against Vegas. So Jack and Kelsey also had a match point to win 3-1, and then we had a match point in the Dream Breaker as well. So we had 2 match points to win against the Night Owls, and then we play against the 0-6 team and lose 4-0.
Yeah.
Right. So I think MLP can just be really weird with a short format and so just a high variance format.
Yeah, 100% it is. So I actually remember you played. As we talked about, you played the PPA Red Rock with Tyson, and you ended up winning that tournament. So congratulations! I know a lot of people win a lot of PPAs,
Yeah.
That said, the funniest thing and the thing that pops up to me the most is the graphic that you made. So I know you probably talked about it before, but I don't even know how that was even a thing. So if you just want to kind of tell me and everyone watching, I'm kind of curious.
I just was scrolling through Instagram, and I saw that they were posting. They're just posting the next up graphics for people. And I was playing with Tyson, and I'm like, hey, where's my next up graphic? How come they're not posting it for me?
Yeah.
And I didn't get one, and I was like, I think I just hopped on MS Paint. I was like, this would just be funny.
Yeah.
If I just drew a little stick figure thing.
Yeah.
And so I just hopped on MS Paint, spent I had one pulled up on the side.
Yeah.
So I don't even remember whose it was. I just had someone's next up graphic, and I was looking at it, and I just went to MS Paint and just kind of drew my version of that, and then posted it, and then people loved it, right? And I think Tyson and I are a really good team. I was actually very confident going into that.
Yeah.
Especially Ben wasn't there.
Yeah, for sure.
So Ben
it's a lot
wasn't
easier
there.
when Ben's not there,
Yeah.
or J-Dub.
Yeah. So Ben wasn't there, and so I was actually pretty confident. I was like, I feel like Tyson and I are favorites here. Why am I not even getting a next up graphic?
Yeah.
Okay, so I decided to post my own, just draw the equivalent of it, and people really liked it.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. And obviously winning. I actually remember, dude, you guys were match point down against Deckel and Colin, and Deckel missed a sitter.
Yeah, I gave him the sitter.
You gave.
And then he hit it in the net, and Tyson was I walked back, and Tyson was like, and like he was like giving me the look, and I was like, dude, I was gonna get back, don't worry.
That's
And
funny.
he's like, okay, good, yeah, good.
So how much did your life change after winning that PPA? Because I feel like at that point you were playing with the Yola and you weren't even sponsored, right? And sponsors are a huge help, whether NVIDIA is going good or not.
Yeah.
Right. So how much, was it kind of like a overnight thing where you're like, oh, like now I'm talking to all these people and whatever? Or how did that go about?
Like I was already talking to people, and working on it, and I was trying to, like I was playing with Yola, so I was talking to them. I think winning was good, but I also think when I did the interview, I just said, apparently it doesn't matter how good you are. I just need you guys to follow me on social media because that's what gets a sponsorship.
Yeah.
And then like a couple thousand people followed me. I had no followers, like
Nice.
400 or something. And then
Yeah.
like 2,000 people followed me right then. And I was like, people were like, oh, that's a good trend.
Yeah,
So
that's
then
awesome.
the sponsor started talking to me more.
Nice. All it takes is 2.4K
Apparently.
followers. No,
Yeah.
dude.
Actually, the reason I made Casey Patterson, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so he's from out here.
Yeah.
So I came out here one time and he's like, dude, you really need to like do social media. I'm like, I hate it.
Yeah.
It's like
Most of us don't love it.
I feel really uncomfortable and like super self-conscious. Like I hate posting these things. I'm
Yeah.
like really self-conscious about it. And I also don't like, that's one reason why I like the low graphic thing. I don't like posting the same thing everyone else is posting.
Right.
Like I look at it and every single person has posted the exact same thing. And I'm like, it feels cringy to then post the exact same thing as well.
Yeah.
And that's like what social media feels like to me. But Casey was like, you make a Instagram, I'll be your first follower. And I'm like, okay, done.
Yeah.
You convinced me.
Pretty good first follower.
And that was the only reason I made an Instagram. There's no way, like he 100% convinced me to do it. I was never going to actually make it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting you say that because for me personally, like, I have the podcast and I try to create as much content as I can. I do think mine's a little bit differently than other people because a lot of it is reels from here. And then, kind of work. I work with Nick on the side to do things on court.
Mm-hmm.
But, for a little while, as I talked before in the podcast, like for a little while, it's like everyone was hiring the same exact person at the tournament and posting the same exact reel as a highlight men's doubles reel.
Yeah.
And it's just like a slow motion of somebody hitting a forehand, slow motion of me hitting a backhand, and then like an overhead and a let's go. And like every single day it was something like that.
Or the same questions. Like some people have like social media posts and everyone has the same question they're being asked. And I'm like,
yeah, it's
like
all
that.
very similar.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things, maybe this question might not be for you, but what are some of the things someone can do to stand out outside of creating stick figures?
My favorite post is actually when Bobby and I, that I made for myself, is actually when Bobby and I won. Like kind of like what you're saying, that most people, they just like post. Sometimes you'll see someone went 0-2, okay? They got absolutely smoked, but they post like the 1 point, okay? And that's what everyone does. They post like the 1 point, and that was good. So when Bobby and I won mixed, I just posted all of the times I hit an overhead into the net.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. It was like the low lights.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then a video of me with the trophy at the end,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I feel like that was, to me, that's like the reverse, right? Where someone does poorly, but then they post like their 2 good points.
For sure.
Okay? I wanted to do the reverse, where I did well, but I want to post all the times I messed up really bad.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, that's funny. And I think just overall, like being confident, but being able to kind of make fun of yourself at the same time at times, I think goes a long way. I had people, I'm not going to drop any names, but I had people that I beat that same match, and then they post like 2 or 3 points of that match.
Yeah.
Literally, like the first 2 shots of the video is like 2 winners by them or something, and then it's like us tapping paddles.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I won. That was like first round of like APP, whatever. Like I won that match.
Yeah.
So it's just really funny to me how people always try to like tell the story that's not really there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make a case for a lot of things. If you rent, like I could go and rent out like a mansion for like a day and be like, this is where I fucking live.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a lot of things you can do about it, but I think authenticity, is that how you say it? Authenticity. Yeah. Nice. My English is getting better.
Nailed it.
I think it's like the best way to go. If you're just you and you're just a likable person, like you're going to get those follows, you're going to get those likes. If you can buy the bots and try to, grow it not so organically, but overall you want to be yourself, So
Yeah. Oh, I really respect the posts when someone posts and I see it and it's like, I sucked. Today sucked. I didn't have fun.
Yeah.
I lost the matches really close and I'm really angry and the tournament's stupid and I hated doing it And but thanks for supporting me. Like I respect those ones.
Yeah.
Than the ones that were like, I had a blast and it was super fun and thanks to everybody and I love everything and it was the best day of my life and I'm super happy doing and everything. But like I was there and I watched them absolutely yeet their paddle over the over the
sure.
entire fence into
Yeah.
the woods, take a paddle out of their bag, snap it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the post is like sunshines and rainbows and this is the best.
Oh, dude,
right?
100%. That's just social media for
Yeah.
you. I mean, I can like just think about like 100 different posts where like this person went like 0-2 for the weekend. It's like, thank you so much to everybody that came to support, and then like having like a total mental breakdown on the court. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, like it's one or the other.
Yeah,
Like,
I like it better when they're just like, that was awful and I hated it.
Yeah,
and
dude,
then
it's
that's the post that they have.
you got to be original. And you got to be yourself. So I
Yeah.
totally get it. So obviously you're playing APP tour now and MLP. You know, so what are like the plans moving forward? What are some of your partnerships coming up for the rest of the year?
I'm just playing whatever is convenient for me and I have partners that I like. I'm not playing PPA.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a lot of them are also just way out here,
Yeah.
right? And flying out to California from Florida, like you waste so many days traveling.
Yeah.
So I can't practice as much. I can't work out as much. It's more expensive and it's just inconvenient. So that's kind of the main reason why I'm not doing that as much.
Yeah.
I'm playing with Stefan a lot in the APPs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing with Yana in mix. I'm going to be playing some with Bobby. That's the main partners I have coming up.
Nice. So what you talked about, you know, training and stuff. So what does like a day in the life of Brendon Long look like?
I have a court at my house now,
Oh, nice.
so that's nice.
You use a ball machine?
I don't use a ball machine.
Okay.
I'm not against using a ball machine.
Yeah.
I just don't have one.
Fair.
That's the main reason
You
why I
gotta
don't.
hit up like Ernie Pickleball or something
Yeah.
to send you one.
Send me one and I'll use it and then I'll post on it.
Yeah, there you go.
And if I have a bad day using it, I'll post that I had a really bad day using this machine. So if that's what you guys want for social media, send me a ball.
Yeah, there you go.
So usually I'll get up and then if Pablo's in town, I'll drill with Pablo. I'll hit a lot with Martina Frantova.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I'll go to the gym like 7 to 8, 8 to 9 or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And then I'll come back, rest for like 15, 20 minutes and Martina will come over and we'll hit with Martina for like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then I will go back inside, eat breakfast, and I'll stretch while watching anime.
Oh, nice. What do you watch?
I watch everything right now. So I just finished watching Psycho-Pass.
I've never heard
You neave heard that one?
No, I've only seen a couple.
okay.
Naruto and Dragon Ball.
Okay, yeah. I've seen those. No, Psycho-Pass is like it's like a criminal kind of mental thriller where there's like a system that can read people's emotions and kind of their minds
Okay.
and tell you if they're a criminal or not.
Okay.
And even if they haven't committed a crime. And then it's about the police force that's going out and arresting these people that are criminals.
But if he hasn't committed a crime, how's he a criminal?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So
Okay.
that's kind of the mental aspect of it is if that person hasn't committed any crime, should they be in jail? Right.
No.
Right. But if you let that person go and then 5 minutes later they kill someone,
Yeah.
should you have arrested that person before?
Oh,
Right?
I see what you're saying.
Right.
Okay.
So like how much bad, like you throw some innocent people in jail,
Yeah.
but you save some people's lives. Like how much is that acceptable? How much is that not acceptable? And it's kind of like the police force thinking like starting to realize like, okay, not everyone we arrest is bad. Okay.
Yeah.
But also we arrested a bunch of bad people before they did crimes. So like, are we doing bad? But we're still saving people? Like, is it okay to do a bad thing if it ends up helping people? Or like if we do a
Interesting.
good thing, but it hurts people,
Yeah.
is that still a good thing?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's what the show is about.
Dude, there's like
Big
there's
fan of it.
yeah, there's like a lot of because I feel like anime can get a little bit trashed by like people that never really seen
Yeah.
it, and like you actually do learn a lot of like interesting lessons and stuff because it's like it puts you in these interesting scenarios, and like you kind of just even just like Naruto, right? It's like it's somebody like trying to help their best friend for like 21 seasons.
Yeah,
Like, It's
exactly.
kind of cool. Like fuck
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Yeah, I think he gets judged before people like know about it.
Yeah.
Now there is that weird stuff out there, right?
No, there is.
I don't really watch that as much
Mhm.
or like at all, but there's weird stuff out there that the whole category gets judged for. Yeah, that's out there.
Yeah. So okay, so you play. So what does your gym workout looks like usually?
So I work with a trainer. I go to a gym called Matterhorn Fit in
Shout out.
Naples. Yeah. And I work with some trainers there. So the last one I had was a leg day, and we did safety bar Bulgarians. So essentially one-legged split squats,
Mm-hmm.
glute ham raise, trap bar, deadlifts,
A lot of strength.
jump squats.
A lot of
Yeah, strength.
stuff, yeah.
And then we'll do like some medicine ball stuff, so some core stuff, and then some speed. There's also hurdles and sprinting and stuff.
So okay, yeah, so that's good. So this is what I think. So, in my opinion, if you go to the gym to go play pickleball, right? I think you need like 4 things. You need legs. So
Mhm.
basically, like anything that comes from like the glutes and below, you need core, and then you need back, and then you need to be quick.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I've done my fair. I don't want to like bash anybody out there, 'cause I've done my fair share of like bicep curls and shoulder presses. But
Mhm.
to me, if you work, even if it's 3 times a week, but all you do is like a back/legs day, right? Like Monday, Wednesday, or Monday, Thursday, Sunday, whatever you want, right? So like a like a full body, but it's like back and legs, and then you get flexible, and then you get quicker. Like that's all you need for pickleball, in my opinion. And then you can be like J-Dub and do like 40,000 wrist curls a day.
I do that. So I'm in the gym 3 days a week, and then outside of like in the gym, I'll do like plyo and sprints and stuff on the other days that I feel good, right? So
Yeah.
if the day after I'm too sore, like I'll still hit, but I won't do sprints. But if the day after I feel good, then I'll do some plyo and stuff.
For
Then
sure.
I end the workouts with like every gym work end with the little rolly thing,
Yeah.
like the stick with a string,
Yeah.
and you roll it up
course.
with the weight at the bottom.
Yeah.
Because, well, one, I did it in tennis. I hated that exercise more than anything, like when they
Mhm.
made me do it in tennis. But
When you do it properly, and you like really stand here, and
Yeah.
it's just all you're doing, it gets
it's
tough.
hard. It's really hard. But I do not want a wrist injury. I know you know about that.
Yeah, I know
but
all about it.
I'm trying so hard to get away from that, because when you get a wrist injury, it's like lingering in it, and it
Mhm.
sucks, right? Obviously, you know about that more than me, because
Yeah.
I've never had one.
It's not
But
good.
that's like the main thing I'm trying to also avoid, because you need your wrist, right? You
Yeah.
can't hit the ball if your wrist is messed up.
For sure. And obviously, like, my take on it is differently, because I've been having some issues this year with it, and it kind of like comes and goes, and it's like, okay, what is it? So I'm just trying to basically heal it properly now. But like if someone has a foot injury, it's like, oh, like you can't play if your foot hurts. If someone has a back injury, you can't play. And it's like, I don't want to be that guy. That said, though, like if you can't hit the ball,
Yeah, you can't play.
you can't play. Like if you can't move, you can still kind of reach. You can still kind of like get away with certain things, especially like if you have good touch. If you can't move, if you can't hit the ball, you can't play. Like if every time you make contact, you're in excruciating pain or whatever it is, like, sorry, like you can't not beat that, So, yeah, stay away from those wrist injuries.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to tell people too, especially the ones that are really like, oh, I need to get faster, stronger, and this and this. It's like, just try to stay healthy, bro. Like, it doesn't matter how quick or how fast or how good you are at pickleball if you can't play.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I tell everybody. It's like, and that's something that I learned over time too, where I spent so much like resources, so much capital, and just trying to get better. Where like now it's like, okay, let me just try to stay healthy as much as I can.
That's been like a really tough balance for me, where if I do too much, then I don't feel good, and if I do too much working out, whatever, I feel like my practice is bad.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't do enough, I feel like I'm not getting faster, stronger, or anything enough.
Yeah.
Right. So it's been really hard to balance, how much do I do? How much do I try and save my energy so I can practice harder, or
Yeah.
like drill better, or play games better, like rec games better? And how much do I not worry about that and just try and hit the gym more, and just maybe my practice isn't as good?
Yeah, and I think that kind of comes down to whatever you think you need at the end of the day, right? So like somebody that's at the gym might actually need to just get better at pickleball.
Yeah.
And somebody that's not on the court all the time, it's like, okay, maybe you just need to actually get quicker.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So everyone has like their ups and downs and like strengths and weaknesses. So, for anybody out there that's watching, like just do what you're not good at.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, it's just kind of that simple. And it's really easy because, I've also like myself, right? Or you probably done it too. I don't know, but you go out and you hit some dings, some drops, and whatever. It's like you might do it for an hour and a half, but it might not be exactly what you need to actually get better at pickleball.
Yeah.
So
I like to always tell people that you get better at what you practice,
yeah.
right? And that just goes for everything. That goes for running, getting faster, getting stronger, whatever. You have to practice it.
Yeah.
Whatever you practice, you're going to get better at.
Yeah, 100%. Well, that said, we're coming up to the time. Really good conversation, by the way. That was awesome. Obviously, like always, thank you to Hezakor, You Drippin', Stack and Head. Use DJ Young code at checkout. I think it's all capital. Yeah, big shout out to the MK Lab. And yeah, dude, so if there's anything you want to talk about now, it's kind of your time to shine. Thank anybody.
Yeah, thanks to Gamma. The new RCF Airbender 10 that I'm using is legit really good.
Nice.
It's coming out in a few weeks or next month, I think.
Okay. They just got Julie B on board.
They got Julie B. Yeah. She called me and was like, "How do you like this paddle?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "It's good."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Okay, I'm in then."
Yeah. One last question, actually. Do you play video games? You look like you play
Yeah,
video
100%.
games. What do you play?
I play everything.
Oh, shit.
Like literally play everything.
What do you, like, give me top 3.
Top 3 of all time or top 3 that I'm playing right
Top 3
now?
you're playing right now. Or give me top 3 you're playing right now and one that you're like, this will never go away.
3 that I'm playing right now. Well, I just finished a game called Another Crab's Treasure. It's like
No
it's
idea.
like Dark Souls.
Okay.
You know what that is?
Yeah, I
it's
know
like
what
Dark Souls, but you're a crab.
Interesting.
Um,
Okay. You have a sword?
You have sword. You have a bunch of different weapons
Oh,
stuff.
so you're like a huge crab? Like you're just
No,
like
no,
a-
you're a little crab.
Oh,
That's like kind of what Dark Souls is. Like you're small and things are bigger.
Yeah.
Right. You're just like a regular crab.
Okay.
And then you fight other sea creatures that are much bigger.
Interesting.
Super cool.
Sea creature.
Big fan
I
of
gotta
it.
check it out on YouTube. A little gameplay action.
Yeah, it's cool. What else am I playing now? I kind of just like travel and then I come back and like buy a game on Steam and then just play it.
Oh, so you're a computer gamer.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm playing a game called Marvel Midnight Sun right now.
I played that before, actually.
Really?
Yeah, with like where it's like takes turns and
Take
you
the
gotta like
turn-based, yeah.
deactivate the bomb and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I like my friend told me about it and I was like, I'm not playing a Marvel game that's gonna be really lame like
Yeah,
for kids.
it's actually really
gonna
fun.
be really it's actually really good and it's actually kind of hard because there's like 8 different difficulties. Like that's my problem with some games before. It's just like too easy. I'm like, it's not fun.
Yeah.
Okay. The game's actually hard. I actually have to sit there and look at my cards and think about the turns I'm gonna take.
Yeah.
And like actually plan it out or else I'll lose.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
I
super
get
fun.
it. I get it.
What else am I playing? I've been like play testing like some shooters that are coming out because like I'm a big fan of like playing competitive games.
Yeah.
But I also hate being bad, and it sucks that I don't have any time now because like I practice the game a lot and then I travel and then I come back and I suck. So then I lose and I'm like I don't want to play this game right now.
Yeah.
But top game of all time is probably World of Warcraft for me.
Dude, let's go. Nice.
I like don't play that much, but then an expansion comes out.
Yeah.
And then like I'll play it for like a month or
Nice,
so.
yeah.
And
You go
then I
hard
don't
for
play
a
it anymore.
month,
I go
yeah.
hard. Yeah, I like to get like do some PvP, do some arenas, get a rating that I'm happy with.
Alliance or Horde?
Horde 100% for the past
What-
15 years or however long WoW's been out.
What's your class?
The last one I played was Demon Hunter.
Okay.
That's what I was playing
So that's
before.
like that's like
I-
really like like late expansions.
Yeah.
I played some Wrath of the Lich game back in
Okay.
the day, and then I'm playing a little bit of classic Cataclysm right now.
Yeah, so I played Vanilla, I played OG, I played a Shaman back then. Then the next expansion I played Warriors. I played a Warrior for a long time. Then I played Priest. I'm a big fan of healing because I hate waiting in queues
Yeah.
for things.
So either a tank or a healer. Yeah.
Yeah. So that I can exactly. So with the Demon Hunter, I would tank dungeons and Mythic plus,
Nice.
and then that because I don't want to wait for a queue.
I gotcha. Nice, dude. Very cool. That was kind of fun to learn. But yeah, dude, thank you so much for coming again. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, we'll talk to you guys soon. Good stuff, bro.
Thanks.